Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and welcome to our Friday Live, our Friday Let's Chat. Um, I was going to do more selling today, but then I decided that it's been a little bit of a calm day here for me. I did a lot of entry, a lot of computer work today, and did a lot of, we put the pearls in the online store like I said yesterday we were probably going to do or try to do. So I got the pearls into the online store today, and there are, I don't know how many lots, all different, there's lots of pearls in there. So if you want to see those, definitely just go to allegorygallery.com and hit the shop menu at the top of the screen there, and you can go down to pearls and you can search all the new pearls that we put out. They're all old stock and vintage. There are some faceted pearls there. If you're regular watchers of these videos, I did show them all. I think I showed them all. I showed most of them at least to you all, but if you'd like to take a little look at them again, you can do that. But that was kind of what my day was filled with: taking pictures, entering things online, chatting with some people online through Messenger, catching up with some emails. So I figure instead of rushing, trying to pull something together, we'll just have a nice chat today. So I don't know how many people will tune into this. I know some of you out there really like the chats. I personally really like the chats. I think there's always something interesting that comes up, and there's always great points of view. So, and plus it's just great to hang out with you all and not, feel the pressure to sell you stuff or have stuff for you to look at, or, because as many of you know here, I'm generally an introvert. So doing these lives is something that it took me a while to get used to. When we first started doing Facebook Lives, we kind of did them without any type of, schedule, or we would just pop online once in a while, both Andrew and I usually, and it would usually be both of us because neither one of us really wanted to do it by ourselves. And that was years ago now, but it was a hard thing to get used to, right? It was a really hard thing as an introvert. I call myself an extroverted introvert because I do like to be out and about. I do like to do the job at the store. I like retail. But as an introvert, going online, and I mean, this is pretty much public speaking, right? Generally, we get 30 or so people who watch these at any one time. This could be at any point. I mean, hundreds of people could start watching me, right? Thousands of people could start watching me. You never know when you go on these things how many people will start watching you. So public speaking was something that I dealt with in college, and so it's really one of those things that I forced myself to do. And as these lives became more and more, common and necessary, thankfully we started them before they became absolutely necessary and got used to doing them. It was something that was hard for me. So, but we love doing them, and we love hanging out with you now, and it's something that's it's a really cool thing. I see some of you talking about some of the people who passed today. Yes, there were a number of people who passed today who, it's very sad. Meatloaf was one of them. There were a few other people. I shared some on my timeline. It was a sad day out there. Some people passed from COVID. Some people passed from old age. It seems like a lot of people did today. So I'm sure a lot of people are affected in multiple ways over that. Back quite a while ago, I dated somebody who was absolutely in love with Meatloaf, loved his music. I really honestly don't know much of his music. So I can't say much about it other than I know that a lot of people felt connected to him and his music. So if you're going through that today, I totally understand. I totally understand. We're losing a lot of very good people, I think, this year. But I also think, I think this is a year of change. And I've said that in some of my other lives. And while we do have some people passing, I also think that this is going to be a very powerful year to make change. If you want to change something, change your circumstances, change something about yourself. If you're not happy with something, I think this is going to be a very powerful year to do it. I don't know why I think that. It's just something that I feel, for as much as that matters. So that's also why I started my William Tries Things page. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I felt that this was the year to do it. So yeah, there are, as Andrew said, one of our friends in the bead world has passed as well. Louis Anderson, as Susan said, passed. It's very difficult. Yeah, a number of people. So people that we've known, people that we never knew, who inspired us, and who really, in some cases, may have made us the people we are. Right? Music is a very powerful thing. Philosophy in life is a very powerful thing. We've had some people who passed today, who millions of people, if not more, looked up to. And it's hard. As Andrew said, Arun from Bollywood Beads, if you don't know, passed. I believe it's been said because of COVID. I don't know if that's true, but it's a crazy thing right now. And Michelle said I've lost over 70 friends because of COVID, and so I'm sorry for your loss. It is hard. And the thing that it comes down to is, I think that illness, no matter what kind of illness, right? Whether it's mental, whether it's viral, bacterial, it does not lay claim to any certain political party. It does not lay claim necessarily to any kind of certain race or gender. So really, we are all in this together, and we have to work on helping each other and keeping each other strong, and really keeping this community together, right? So I think that's one of the reasons I think these chats are so important. That's why I think that being in touch with you all is very important. We are a business, we are a company, we try to sell things so that we can make a living, but there's so much more to the world, there's so much more to life than just all of that, right? And yeah, things can be sad, and things can get you down, and it's good to have people around that you can talk to, right? I think so. I'm glad you're all out there, that we can talk to you. So what else? Not to just skip past everything, but I don't want to also, dwell in sadness only. There is sometimes a tendency to let the sadness be your only thing, and that can also be scary, and that can pull you into places that I think are not healthy as well. Let's see here. Andrew said, I feel as though we've all collectively gone through some hard years, but we've always talked about and processed these emotions together, right? And I think that's what it is. We can talk about things, and we can, be sad. There's nothing wrong with being sad, unless the sadness overcomes you, right? And in that case, I hope you will seek out more professional help than here. We are not, medical professionals. We are not therapists. We are friends who will listen. But if you find yourself being overcome, and if you find yourself in any dangerous territory where you're thinking dangerous thoughts, I do hope you will reach out to somebody who is a medical professional or who is trained to handle that. And you have a lot of friends here. If something is pulling you in that direction and you need help finding that help, I hope you would reach out to friends here as well. I'm sure there are many people here who know resources or can point you in the right direction. But as Andrew said, I think it's important to feel your feelings. If you don't work through your thoughts and feelings, it just gets buried and will blow up later. And that's the truth. It's also important, to process them so you can move through them, right? Michelle says she has somebody if I need it, so that's great. And as she said, it is a normal emotion, right? Sadness is normal. There's nothing wrong with being sad over the loss of somebody that you were close to, even if you were never actually close to that person, right? We can all be sad over people that we, that brought us great joy in life, right? Betty White was an amazing woman. She lived a very long life, a very healthy long life, even more importantly, I think. But I was still sad when she passed. I'm a huge Golden Girl fan, but even more than that, I've watched Betty White through many, many different sitcoms and shows. And, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel those feelings. I've never met her in real life. But that doesn't mean we don't become close to those people, right? That's the way it is. Let's see here. Susan said, we had a beautiful sunny day here. I went outside to feed the birds. They were chirping away. And see, there are good things, right? Nature is a wonderful escape. For me, I find at least. It was a cold day here, but it was very sunny and very beautiful outside. So I did take a walk a little bit midday, and it was nice to do that, and it was nice to just get out a little bit. Let's see here. Marianne says, in my view, death is part of life, and I believe in reincarnation. Still, sadness is a normal response to death, right? And even if you do believe in reincarnation, there is still, you don't know how that person will come back. You don't know what form they will take when they come back. It is still a loss, right? No matter what, there is still a loss there for the person or the being that they were. It could be an animal, it could be a person, it could be, whatever. There's still loss and there's still sadness there. So it is still a normal response to death. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see, what else is everyone out there saying? Anybody else? Suzanne said, I'm glad it did snow or ice today. New Orleans can't handle that. I'm sure they can't handle that. Robin said it's 70 degrees and sunny in Tempe. That's nice. Tempe, that's nice. Very nice. Yeah, we had a nice day here. It was pretty calm. There was some sadness, of course. But in general, I had a fairly peaceful day. I had 3 people come into the store today. So that was, it was slow. But I had some nice conversations with those 3 people who came in. And it was nice. But it was a slow day. So as I said at the beginning of this, I did a lot of entry for new products online. I took a lot of photos today, some of the pieces from the trunk show yesterday. And so, it was kind of a peaceful day. I watched some YouTube videos in the background. I had those on, trying to watch some inspiring things and some things that will help me on my personal journey. I think it's very, very important to, while you have these sad things going on and these things, this loss in your life, I think it's important to also take care of yourself And I am on a journey this year. I've decided I'm on a journey. As you know, I've done the William Tries Things page. I'm on a journey to try to better myself or bring myself back into alignment with who I think I am. And some of these videos that I've been watching talk about that, and you know how we veer from things, and how public opinion and how people look at you, or how you feel people are going to look at you, change who you actually are. So it was a productive day for me, I'd say. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see here. In hospice now, peace with my journey. Now, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you're at peace with the journey. I don't know. I'm not good with necessarily those kind of things, but I am glad you've been able to find peace with where you are and what's going on in your life. Um, I don't know what all that means for you, but that is a personal journey. I know that. Um, and so I am glad for you for that reason. Let's see. Susan says we lost a friend early on to COVID. I still think about her a lot. It's not. I mean, of course, you know, um, COVID is something that happened to us, and we weren't. You're never ready for something like that. Who's ready for a pandemic, right? And so I think there's a tendency to think of things sometimes as not fair, or a lot of times death isn't fair, right? Doesn't feel fair. And so, I think it's very normal to feel that way, and to feel like you still think about people and think about their presence there. Andrew said, for as challenging as times have been, there's a lot of good things happening. If you didn't see, Andrew got appointed as a board member at Touchstone, and he's applying for a residency position at Contemporary Craft in Pittsburgh. So lots of good things. Let's talk about some of those that have been going on in your life. What are some good things that you see out there that you've been dealing with? There's this tendency sometimes to eliminate from our minds the good things, because when bad things happen, we don't feel that we are allowed to feel the good things. And I think we feel guilty sometimes when good things happen to us in amidst all the bad things that are going on. And I think we have to allow room for that, because we're allowed to feel good about the good things that happen to us. I want to hear about those good things that happen to people, because those are the things that keep us going, right? The good things, the happy things, those are the things that keep us going. And for anyone who's lost someone, I lost my grandparents recently. It's been a few years now. But I know it's super sad. I was very close with them, but I also know that they would not want me, if they knew I was running around being sad all the time about it. They would come back and and they'd give me a stern talking to. So I think you do have to find happiness too, and you have to find the good things in life. So let's start talking about some of those and some of the good things that are going on. Let's see here. Marianne did some research today. That's good. Research is always, I think, good. Well, you can get carried away with research, right? But I was looking into journaling today. I wrote that in my page and in the group, I think on my page. And I was doing a little bit of research for journaling, fell down some rabbit holes into manifestation and manifesting your destiny, to put those big words on it, manifesting destiny. And but I do think there is something to it. And I wrote a little post about it, asking people what they thought about manifesting and whether they believe in it or not. I happen to. I've seen too much happen in my own life that leads me to believe that manifestation is a real thing. So, yeah. Andrew said, I'm also excited to see my family. We're planning to go to Tucson together originally, but that got canceled. But I'm still going down for a visit. So that's good, right? That's very good. Let's see here. Susan, your friend, I'm guessing this is your friend you're talking about. She was really into Japanese culture, and we last saw her in full kimono at our Japanese festival. She was Cuban American. That's awesome. I think that's awesome. There's always talk about the appropriation of culture and all that, but I do, from having studied many cultures in college and meeting many people from other cultures, most of the time, what I have found, and at least personally, is anytime I've seen anything like that or done anything like that, as long as you are doing it with an intent of love and an intent of appreciation, most of the time people from that culture are happy to see it. That's at least been my experience. I think there is a difference between appropriation versus appreciation. It can go too far, I guess, but I think in a lot of things, many people appreciate when you appreciate their culture. The world would not be the same if we were just one big culture. There would be a lot of things that would be missing, I think, in the world. And so I think it's important to appreciate one another's cultures. Michelle's been building up inventory for an online store. Nice. That's awesome. Good luck on that journey. I know it's not an easy one. Andrew's very excited for Star Cottage Studio, of course. That's our biggest project here at Allegory Gallery ever, is getting Star Cottage Studio up and running. So that's an exciting time. Let's see here. Susan had a good test result from her doctor today. That's awesome. Congratulations. MJ's making a memory charm bracelet for my sister and using a bunny charm from Cynthia. Awesome, from Green Girl Studios. That's sweet. Very sweet. Let's see here. Rebecca had COVID last week. Oh no. Every day I tried to talk myself out of being sick, but it won when I couldn't get out of bed, right? Sometimes you can't manifest yourself out of certain things. Certainly know that, but I hope you're feeling better. And I do hope that you're on the other side of it now. Whoops, I don't know what I just did. I accidentally did something. I start a comment. I don't even know what that means. Let's see here. Your friends, Michelle, and you are building up an inventory for an Etsy store. Good, good. We have helped many people start their own businesses here at Allegory. We've sat down with a number of people, helped them fill out, paperwork, from making sure the state has all the information they need to start the business and the tax information, and help them build websites. And it's just always a joy to see people going after their dreams, and it's wonderful when people are truly passionate about it. There is a big difference, I do believe, in turning your hobby into a business and doing it for fun, right? I don't think everything should be a business necessarily. I think you do need time for your hobbies, and I think the pandemic showed that a lot. There were so many people who had turned their hobbies into businesses before the pandemic, and then when the pandemic hit, they had nothing, to do other than that. And so when you turn your hobbies into your work, I think you find yourself lacking something sometimes. So it's always a joy when people want to start their own business, but I do like to say, hey, make sure you're not just taking the only hobby you really love and turning it into work, because starting your own business is work, right? So I always just like people to be mindful of that when they go into things. Let's see here. Someone's asking what this is about. This is about whatever people bring up and we talk about. We are a retail store that sells beads and jewelry and gemstones. And every once in a while, we have a Let's Chat where we just sit down with our community and chat about things. So that's what this is about. Whatever comes up and we talk about, that's what this is about. We like to connect with our community as best we can. We take days where we don't sell anything. We don't try to push anything. We don't try to, so we just chat. Susan says, my brother's Angel Day was last week. His birthday was this week. I always honor him by making a post and a donation to a local animal rescue group. I do the same for my parents as well. That's very nice. That's very nice. What else? Just scrolling through comments here. What's going on? Andrew said, speaking of Japan, over the summer I took a Japanese raisin class and I've been working on finding the steaks. And I think I might have found a person who makes them. Nice. I see more I see more orders in Andrew's future. Yes, Andrew has definitely been looking at hammers and stakes and all that fun stuff for metal work. Michelle's finally over my flu or bronchitis. That's awesome. That's always a good thing, right? I believe so. Let's see, it took like over a month to get over it. She says not COVID was tested. Yeah, there are still other things out there. The world might not have you believe that, but it is definitely true, right? There are definitely things still out there in the world that are not COVID. Let's see here. Susan says chatting is great. This is my idea of happy hour, right? I think so. I think it's a good way to spend some time, right? Andrew said if folks want some fire polish check glass, that William just added a bunch. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. We have the fire polish check glass in the online store, only $2.50 a strand, right? Andrew's always going to bring up the sale. But we did all talk about that yesterday, so we don't have to get into that too much today. Lots of beautiful stuff, though. We do have a lot of people who bought some of it already. So thank you if you're out there and have purchased some of that. Like I said, it's been a slow day today, which also made me want to... it did make me think I should sell things today. But because those 3 people that came into the store did not buy today. So they were just browsing. But this weekend, we're hopeful, is the Ice Fest here in Ligonier. And the Ice Fest can be a nice day or a nice weekend, depending on who all is out there. Yeah, you never know. You never know what a weekend here is going to be, especially now during the pandemic. It was hard enough during a regular time of year or a regular year to know what's going on. But right now it seems slow, but we'll see what it looks like. But it's always slow, January through April. I always say January, you may not know if you don't watch us often, but Ligonier is pretty much a tourist town. So the tourism keeps things alive. In the winter, there's not as much to do really, but we do have skiing near us. There are 3 ski resorts near us. We have hiking trails. If you do like to hike in the winter, that's one of the things that kind of dies down a little bit in the winter. And the ski resorts also are generally large enough that they keep the people there, right? So sometimes you'll get people saying, oh, my husband or wife is out skiing and I decided to come into town. So that's always a nice thing. But it's not always the case for most days, right? Most days that are cold like today was, even though it was sunny, it was a slow day. So we look forward to some of these festivals that happen throughout the year, especially Ice Fest. It's a really fun one. They have ice carving out there. There are already ice statues all over the what we call the diamond, which is our centerpiece, our roundabout in town. And so probably tomorrow at some point, I will go out and take some pictures of some of the, I always like to go out and take some pictures of the ice sculptures and things that are going on. So I hope to be able to get out to do that, but I also kind of hope that I don't get to get out and do that, because that would mean we were crazy busy and making sales. So that's one of those things too. Let's see what else is. Andrew has a friend, Sharon, coming to the shop tomorrow. They're going to hang out here in the back room, so that's nice. It's messy, so just know that. Let your friend know, Andrew, that it's messy. But yeah, that'll be nice to see her. And she's making a cake, even better, right? Cakes are good. I like cake. I like cake. So what else? What other good things are happening to you all out there? What other good things? Let's focus on good things. We've had enough bad talk. We've had enough sad talk. What good things are happening to you all out there? I don't want this to be a sad video. We have a tendency sometimes, like I said, to look on the sad side of things, because dwelling in sadness sometimes feels good. It's true. I sometimes get that way. But it can also be addicting. You know, we have to also look at good things. Sometimes looking at the good side of things, like I said earlier, feels narcissistic or feels like you don't deserve it. And so we do it less. I think looking at positive things could be just as addicting, but we tell ourselves a lot of times that we don't deserve to, or that when things are bad, we shouldn't look at nice things or good things. I think we become more apt to talk about things that are going wrong. And sometimes we dwell in the things that are going wrong and things that we have no control over. It's nice to, you know, it's human to feel bad about things and to feel sad about things, I think. But when you have no control over them, if there's nothing you can truly do about them, then it's also okay to talk about good things, right? And think good things. Michelle, what'd she say? My husband is a teleprompter and he is on a reality TV show. Oh boy, I don't know if I could deal with a reality TV show, except this is kind of my reality TV show right now. My small, very, very small reality show. But that must be interesting. Robin got your wholesale license this week. Nice. I find out about a trademark in a few weeks. Awesome. Congratulations. That's excellent news. Rebecca didn't get in trouble for being on my phone at work this morning. Oh my. Oh my. Suzanne's reading more nonfiction and cleaning out my closet. I know they are not related. Don't have to be related, right? I read a lot of nonfiction. I generally prefer nonfiction because the things I read deal with the mind, neuroscience. I like to read about time and space, things like parallel universes and all that good stuff. And I love reading about nature and animals and insects especially. But there's always good times in fiction, right? You can always find some good fiction. I'm trying to think of the name of the writer. Robin Sloan, I believe. Robin Sloan, and he writes, I think it was Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore and Sourdough. I can't remember the whole title for Sourdough, but I really enjoyed those books, and they were fiction. Andrew has his first board retreat tomorrow. For Touchstone, I have to admit that they use the word retreat differently than I do. Yeah, I don't think it's not gonna be like some fun times, right? Maybe, who knows? Maybe they get wild during the board retreats. Who knows? Who knows? Susan loves reality TV. You know, there are people out there, I think it's one of those things, I think you either really love reality TV or you don't, or maybe sometimes it's how crazy it is, right? Some reality TV, like sometimes the Survivor and things like that, at least at the beginning, I think they may have tendency to get blown out of proportion as seasons go on, right? People try and make them bigger and better, but some reality TV I do enjoy, but some of it I just can't. I just can't. Also, because if I did, I would probably be watching it nonstop because some of it's so ludicrous, right? So I don't know. Maybe I do enjoy it more than I let on, even to myself, because I probably would get involved and watch too much of it. Molly's purging closets too. Nice. Always good, sometimes to let go of things, right? Not everything, right? But sometimes it's healthy, and I think sometimes it feels good to let go of things, clean things out a little bit. He is Snoop Dogg's main teleprompter. Oh my goodness. Snoop Dogg is funny. I do enjoy, especially with Martha Stewart, I enjoy the two of them together. Marianne's been looking at some amazing moon pictures. Nice. Always good to look at nature, right? I'm often I find nature to be kind of astounding, right? Just and to find our place in it, right? I think as people, as humans, we have placed upon ourselves this crown where we feel that we should be in control of the planet and in control of nature, and that we were somehow put here to be that purpose. That's not the way I believe in things. I don't believe that we have any more of a responsibility to control things than any other creature on this planet. We just evolved differently. That's my own personal view. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who don't believe that, who believe that people should be in control of things. But I believe that in a lot of ways we have thrown out some of the natural cycles in things. So trying to marvel at the universe and how big it is and how small we are, and try to keep that perspective that truly we are small. Even if we are kind of large and in charge on this planet, or we've put ourselves large and in charge of this planet, we are really small in the grand scheme of things. And I really like, astronomy for that, and looking at the universe and looking at the possibilities of parallel universes and all that those interesting things. I love that. So talking about the moon made me think about all that. Oh, let's see here. Susan said, love Snoop and Martha when they cooked. They are fun together. They are a lot of fun. We watch some of Martha's shows, which I guess you would consider maybe reality TV. I don't know. Martha gardening and things like that. But when they get together, they are fun. They are fun. MJ says, William, where are the crows that were in those branches? Have you read much about crows? Not sure what you mean about crows in the branches. Maybe I forgot what I said already. I do that a lot. I do read a little bit about crows. I really like crows, and they're really smart, right? They're really smart. And Andrew, as you've seen probably in his paintings, paints a lot of crows, and we both have an admiration for crows and ravens and the blackbirds, right? Now, Project Runway, Diane, of course. Who's not going to watch Project Runway? No, we do watch Project Runway. And I do like the competition shows when they are like the creative competition shows. So we watched Forged in Fire. We watched Project Runway. We watched The Great Pottery Throwdown, which I think is called something else actually in the UK. But there are some other ones too. The Face Off, and Oh, I don't remember them all. I do like those. I like ones that show people being creative and how they use their creativity. And so I think that's one of the reasons why at the beginning of Survivor, I used to watch some of it, and because it showed people how they got creative about surviving, right? So I like seeing I'm not going to be able to say this word, ingenuity. Is that right? I feel like I got letters flipped around there. But anyway, I like to see creativity and all that. Terry says, I don't think there's much reality TV that isn't scripted somewhat. I would believe that. If not scripted, edited, right? I think there's a lot of editing that goes on behind the scenes in reality TV that makes it even more dramatic. And of course, I believe that people are told to be dramatic in a lot of these cases. Let's see here. What's going on? Sometimes I get lost in the comments, and that's why sometimes I pause. If you see me over here pausing and like staring, my comments don't show really easily that you are replying to each other. So I kind of have to sometimes read through them or try to figure out if you're actually saying a new comment or if it's to someone else's reply. So I apologize if I miss anything that somebody says. That's just kind of the nature of the beast here that on the app that I use. Susan says, I'm trying to read more this year. So far, I'm on book 3. I mostly read fiction for the escapism value, but I do read art design books, and I love those little golden guide books. Yeah, I think fiction to escape is fine, right? It's the same reason a lot of people watch TV, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just have a hard time finding a good story, I guess, sometimes, or something that I'm actually interested in. And I don't take the opportunity myself to learn things as much as I want to because we're so busy with our store and with our business life. So I've always found joy in learning new things, and I'm trying as I continue to become an adult, right? I guess as we're all becoming adults, right? No matter how old we are, I think. Trying to not lose the interest and the fun of learning. So even though you can learn a lot even from fiction though too, right? Robin says, someone come clean out my closets. I need to, but don't. That's the case with us too. I would like to clean our closets, but I don't want to clean our closets. Let's see here. What else? Andrew says, I like Project Runway, but it can vary depending who's on it. Yeah, sometimes they make the wrong call. I'm just going to say it. Sometimes the judges are wrong. So, so then you get down to the people who you're like, don't really care who wins. Sometimes that happens, right? You wouldn't have made that same call, but they did, right? So it can be frustrating too. I think those kind of reality shows and the competition shows because you have no choice over it, right? It doesn't matter how much you believe somebody should have won or somebody shouldn't have gone home. You can't change it, right? So yeah, sometimes it's frustrating too. Sometimes it's frustrating. Oh, Marianne read the Ishmael book. Nice. Very good. Yeah, I'm still reading it. So I'm still going through it. I have it on audiobook, and generally on Tuesdays to my other job and back, I listen to it. I don't get much time other than that to really listen to it because I am one of those people that I love to have background music on and even TV. When I was in college, I would have the TV and the music on as I was doing work. But really the idea is not because I'm actually watching it. When I'm working, I like noise around me, but it's only so that I can kind of put myself in this kind of noise bubble where nothing else gets in. So I can control the noise that's coming in and what I block out, and then I can focus on what I'm working on. It's maybe really strange setup for some people. They don't understand. But I do like to have noise, but noise that I don't need to watch or I don't need to listen to. because if I have anything going on that I actually need to listen to, I'm like one of those people that I have to like sit in a chair, put headphones on, and just like sit there listening to it. That's why in the car, like driving, I can listen to something because I don't need to split my attention in any other way other than being safe on the road and listening to what I'm listening to. And even then, sometimes I'm going back because I got too involved in my driving, if there's traffic or anything. So I'm not one of those people. Andrew is one of those people that he can work and listen to things while he works and still get them. Like they still fall into his brain somehow. I cannot. If I'm working on something, my focus goes to that one thing. I like to have outside noise so that small distractions that happen outside that noise bubble don't bother me. But and I can tune them out, but I don't really comprehend things. So that's why I'm still reading the book, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, Marianne. I think it's a really good read. Let's see here. People are doing serious purging, it looks like. I'm just going through all these. Andrew says, I like how Martha calls her time in prison her time at camp. Yeah, that's funny. Your hubby comes home, has a lot of stories to tell. I'm sure he does. Let's see here. Oh, Andrew said there's a new pottery season, Pottery Throwdown. It's not streaming here yet in the US. I have to avert my eyes from social media. I know. I started because I'm trying to get into pottery more, and I'm following potters on Instagram, and they're all starting to like the Great Pottery Throwdown community is starting to link to all these new potters that are in this season, and I'm trying to like not look, trying to follow them but not look at what they're actually doing sometimes because they keep talking about it, and I don't want to ruin actually watching the show down the line, right? Susan has a friend that was in prison with Martha. Nice. At camp with Martha, right? That's cool. Let's see here. Andrew says, I think you like starting books. I do. I do like starting books. I have every intention of finishing books, but I don't finish a lot of books all the time. I don't know why. I get interested in them, but I do like to jump between subjects and things. So someday I'll finish my books, but I have continuously listened to this one. This is one that I've not like started and paused. Like I do continuously listen to this one every trip. So I'm on chapter 9 or 10 now. So I'm finding that I think I need to just buy an audiobook every once in a while. And then the books on the shelf can be for when I retire, maybe someday. But I can maybe listen to audiobooks in the car. That might be my way of doing things. Or maybe audiobooks before bed once I start creating my new wind down bedtime routine, which I'm trying to get into with my William Tries Things page. Susan finally got her Christmas tree down and decorations put away. I'm the only person I know who does an Excel spreadsheet listing of the holiday storage boxes with detailed notes. Most of the boxes were out of the storage closet, and cats were in there for a bit. So the upside is that Mr. Mouse might be gone. Nice, nice. Yeah, that I don't know. I don't think I would be. So I like spreadsheets sometimes, but I don't think I would do that for that. I don't know anyone who does really, but I think that's good. We don't list our books on our shelves in any order. So I have an app that I took each shelf and went through. And so when we need to find a book, I just look up on the app and it's on this shelf and this one over. So I kind of do that kind of thing. But we don't really decorate for Christmas either, but because of the cats. I would like two more, but then we have a mess and cats eating things, and it's been proven to happen. So we don't. Let's see. Molly says, cleaning closets and purging is really freeing. We did it 4 years ago when we moved here. We want to move again to a different state once this house is done with renovations. So trying to figure out how to purge down a lot. Yeah, purging is not easy, but it can be healthy, right? It can be nice. It can be freeing. Let's see here. Donna says, yes, background noise helps. Without it, it's like facing a blank page in a sketchbook. Yeah, sometimes. And I find also that, we have cats, and generally, if I'm doing something, Andrew's doing something else. And so if it's quiet for me, and this has always been the way, if it's quiet for me, any bit of that little distraction, like if I hear a cat romping around, or will distract me and will cause me to get up from my work and go look or go see what's going on or wonder, and my mind starts wandering. Whereas if I have this, I call it my bubble of sound, whether it's a TV or radio or both, then that way it blocks some of that out and I hear less and I can focus more. So yeah, I would say sometimes it can be daunting to have just quiet. I like background noise. Speaking of that, Susan says the hubs keeps talking to me and he sees me with headphones, right? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about, right? Because you can get distracted easily. Terry uses free audiobooks from the library. Yes, I know Andrew does too. Andrew likes those. I've not really looked into them much. I should. I don't know why I don't. I should think about that. As Donna says, you can use Libby to listen to books free from your library. I don't know why I don't think of that either. Andrew said, the issue with the wind down and reading is that you program your brain to get sleepy when you read, so that when you're in a meeting, when you're in a meeting, you start to get tired. Oh yeah, I guess yeah. If you're listening to something and sometimes you're in a meeting, then it's kind of the same thing, like a narrator talking to you, right? So you start to like fall asleep during your meetings. Luckily, I don't have a lot of meetings, so that's not too big of an issue. Andrew's getting into the meeting world much more now. Much more now. Andrew says, you're going to have to redo your shelf out because everything is all bizarre land now that I took my reference books to the cottage. Yeah, Andrew moved a lot of his reference books, I think all of them, most of them anyway, over to the cottage. So that's going to make room on our shelves, which means we're going to move things around, which means I'm probably going to have to redo my app. That's going to be a pain in the butt, but worth it to know where our books are at least. But maybe it'll also give me the chance to go through my books and just toss some that I know I'm never going to read anymore. Or ever, right? Molly says it has to be super quiet for me to read. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Some people are very different. I did my best writing and reading in college when I had tons of background noise. I'm a little different now. It's a little harder for me to focus with background noise, but I think that's just because my brain jumps around a lot more now than it used to. And I'm not used to doing that kind of reading anymore and that kind of intense reading and writing that I did in college. But yeah, I get it. Some people like the quiet. I'm generally not one of those people, which is why meditation has been a little bit difficult for me here in these almost 2 weeks that we've been trying it in the William Tries Things group. It's been difficult for me. I try and do it right before bed because that way at least I'm already ready for the quiet, but it's not easy for me. Michelle likes music when she reads. I get it. I'm one of those people too. Terry says, I can't wind down with a good book. I get stuck turning pages. Isn't that the way too? I'm one of those people that, and I think that's one of my problems with reading. I'm trying to get over it, but I'm one of those people that if I start reading, I have to finish the chapter, right? And it's weird. It's a compulsive thing, but I have a very hard time with putting the bookmark in the book if it's not at the end of a chapter. So I put a lot of pressure on myself when I do go to bed and start reading, when I read before bed, that, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I should start the next chapter. I look how long the next chapter is. Am I going to be able to stay awake through the next chapter? So I'm trying to force myself to put bookmarks in the middle of chapters and just let it go. But it's been hard. It's been very hard. I'm a little bit OCD about finishing the chapter. I've always been that way. I think it's one of the pressures I put on myself that stop me from reading sometimes. So I'm trying to overcome it. But I don't know if any of you are like that or if I'm just a wild, crazy one that way. But it is hard. And so getting stuck turning the pages, I get in the sense that I have to finish the chapter. Oh, let's see here. Rebecca, last week when I was sick, I fell asleep while playing Rub and Buff on some hardware. Woke up with it all over my face. That's just funny. Oh, let's see what else is going on. Robin says, I have to finish the chapter too. Isn't it awful? I mean, really, there's no reason you have to finish the chapter because sometimes the chapters just kind of blend into one another anyway, right? There's no rhyme or reason sometimes why the chapter ends. I guess there kind of is sometimes, but sometimes there's not. And so I don't know why, but I have to finish the chapter. So whenever I'm in bed, sometimes I want to start the next chapter because I'm not quite tired enough to go to sleep, or I'm really interested in the book. But then I look ahead and it's like, this chapter is 40 pages. And I know I'm not going to get through 40 pages before I fall asleep. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Oh, Cynthia's using Waking Up with Sam Harris. It's really good. He uses rational thinking to guide you through a mindful meditation. That's good. I think I had the Waking Up app for a while. I'm pretty sure that was the one I had. And I don't know why I stopped using it. I go through a lot of apps. I download a lot of apps and try them. And ultimately, some of them you have to pay for and some of them you don't. And sometimes, I can't have 80 million subscriptions to things. But I'm pretty sure I used the Waking Up app and had it on my phone. And I liked it. I remember liking it. I think it had, is it the kind of blue app with beams coming out of it? I think that's what it looked like. But yeah, if that's the one I'm thinking of, I really liked it too. I'm glad you're using it. Terry says, I can't listen to music. I find I get wrapped up in the music and singing along to read. Yeah, that's one of those things too, that's what I find harder now. When I was younger, I could read and just block everything out. And also probably because I was reading in up to 4 different languages, so not counting English. And so it was easier for me to block things out because I was concentrating so hard on, translation and all of that. But yeah, nowadays I flip and it's hard for me to focus on one thing. So I get that. I still do find it easier though to, if you ask me, do you want to read this in silence or do you want to read this with background noise? I will always choose background noise still. Even though it's harder now than it used to be, it's much harder for me to be in silence than not. Andrew said, if I'm studying, I will listen to the same thing over and over and over. It's a conditioning technique for recall. Yeah. If you can relate what you're studying to something that you enjoy, that's why when they teach kids things, they put it to music and sound or rhyme, and because it's a conditioning thing. Molly needs complete quiet. Some people are good with complete quiet. I cannot. Marcy's late to the show. You are late, Marcy, but that's okay. You can watch the rewatch if you really want to. We're just chatting today, just whatever comes up. Talked about a lot of stuff today so far. A lot of stuff today. And we're probably going to, it's almost been an hour. So these chats, I like to try to keep the Let's Chat days around an hour, because, I think that's enough time to kind of catch up with everyone and hang out for a little while and not eat too much into everyone's evening, because I know we could sit here and chat forever. But yeah, I really enjoy these days. I thank you all so much for hanging out with us here. It's surprising to me sometimes, but some of these Let's Chats are some of the most watched. Like, I have 22 people now. I don't always have that when we're showing things to sell. So I am very thankful for that, and I'm thankful for you all for tuning in. Sorry, I'm moving this stand here now. But yeah, I think these are valuable times. I think hanging out with you all, I find them valuable. I hope you do. I hope you enjoy these. And yeah, we're going to try and do these a little more often. Andrew and I have been talking about it. We had Tucson kind of in the middle of things. Now that it's not, but Andrew's still going down to visit his family. Hopefully I can get down there a little bit too. But yeah, I think we're going to try and schedule these chats. I kind of like them being impromptu like this, but I also think that if we did this more often and we scheduled them out, I think that could be good. Just so that everybody kind of had an idea when they would happen. If you just wanted to hang out with us, you could. I think that might be worthwhile. So we're going to probably try and do these at least 2 or so times a month, and kind of get them into the rotation of everything else. Because, I like them. So there. And it seems like you all do too. So thank you all so much for tuning in. We've hit the hour mark here, an hour and some minutes. So thank you again for tuning in and spending this time with us. It's not, I think it's not really every business that could do something like this and sit here and just talk about stuff and people would actually listen. So we do thank you for being part of this community, for being engaged, for being, receptive to things like this. It's really a privilege to be a part of this community and to have you all as friends and supporters. So thank you for that. And I'm going to go and pick up a few things at the grocery store. I don't know what we're going to eat tonight. I think we have leftovers. I think we have leftovers to eat, but I need to get some juice and some things. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. And then I'm going to go home, and I have some things to do for William Tries Things for that page. So I'm going to go and chat with some people there probably this evening and try and catch up on some things there. So let's see, what else is everybody saying? Oh, Suzanne's having her birthday on Sunday. Well, happy birthday, Suzanne. I do really, really, really hope that you have a great birthday. You've been one of our supporters for a long time now, and we do appreciate it. And we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. Andrew said, once I get back, I'll be doing more lives from the cottage. I realize there's a lot of stuff that I can share that people might find useful. Yeah. Andrew's talking about getting back from spending time down with his family. So yeah, we're going to rearrange things. We're going to rearrange our schedule a little bit. You're going to see doing more lives from us. I plan to try to incorporate more lives in the William Tries Things page that I'm doing. Andrew's going to be doing more lives from Star Cottage Studio at various times. We're going to try and come up with a schedule that works for doing some of that stuff. So we're still going to try and we're trying to keep our live at 5, at least for right now. We've been talking about moving this time slot around a little bit, but it seems to work out right now. And it works for all of the other, kind of our friends in the beading world and their live times. And we've tried to arrange ourselves so that we don't overlap too much. So we probably won't be moving this one around. So that's probably good news, I hope, for all of you out there. But we will be doing some additions here and there. And Andrew's probably going to do, I think he's come up with doing some maybe at 11 p.m. Eastern time, some later night ones. And I may do my William Tries Things ones a little bit later in the evening as well for anybody who wants to join me over on my page. Andrew has Andrew Thornton Artist. If you search Andrew Thornton Artist, that's Andrew's public page, and William Tries Things is my public page. If you'd like to hang out with us outside of Allegory Gallery, there's still tie-ins sometimes, but if you want to kind of see what we get up to a little bit on our own and outside of Allegory Gallery, you can follow us there and just search for those on Facebook. So yeah, all right. I said I'm leaving about 4 minutes ago, and I haven't done it yet, so I'm going to go. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Suzanne, you have a wonderful birthday this weekend, and you know we're here if you need anything for beading. We are a fully stocked store, so just send us a message on Facebook or send us an email at info@allegorygallery.com, and we are happy to help you. All right. And until then, we will see you on Monday. All right, everybody. Have a great, great evening. Bye now.